Hey everybody, it's Bob Asadi. It's Easy Credit Motors, Bob at easycreditmotors.com. Like, share, subscribe, ring bell. '09 Porsche Cayenne V6 3.6 liter had lean codes. Everything indicated that there's a problem with the oil separator valve. Is it outside of the engine? Easy to replace? Hell no. It's integrated into the valve cover underneath the intake with a whole bunch of clamps and rather difficult but simple hoses and clamps to disconnect. So, other than the 2 or 3 videos that are outstanding that show you how to do this, I will tell you, I'll throw in my 2 cents that'll help you out a little bit. First of all, when you're that's all folks, when you're removing the intake manifold, what you want to do is, once you have everything disconnected, everything, including that little fuel line back there, you want to push from the passenger side up and over, okay, to take the intake manifold off. And I did it all by myself. You don't need 2 people, okay? The other thing, the valve cover, there is one screw right there that you're going to have to maybe pry that wire loom back just a little bit. Don't break anything, okay? Be very careful to gain access to that one little bolt right there for the valve cover. Another rather tricky thing was here, let me show you. Here's the valve cover, by the way. Pretty good condition. I mean, you saw the engine, pretty good condition. There's, I mean, and then you can see there's, actually I'll show you the intake manifold. There's oil in there. This is in very good condition. For some reason, this gasket nearest the firewall is a little burnt up. I don't know, maybe it wasn't seated correctly or there's something going on there with that coil. Other than that, that should be the culprit right there. Now, by the way, here's another reason why I'm very sure this is the problem. There's a weep hole here, and when the oil separator malfunctions, you'll get vacuum through here, and this oil cap will be really hard to take off. I mean, I twisted it when I was checking the vehicle out at the auction, twisted it off, and I was trying to lift it up, and I was like, damn, you have to actually put some effort into it. When this oil separator fails, you get a tremendous amount of vacuum in the engine that'll actually make removing that cap a lot harder than it should be. Also, I did notice that the screws, they were kind of loose. Wonder if they were within torque specs. They just needed to be tightened. And, you know, that was letting some air into the engine, causing, again, the vacuum leak. And hence the lean codes that I got. Okay? If this doesn't work, I'll have to do a smoke test. But I'm pretty sure that this is it. Here's the intake. Oil has gotten in. Come on, old school camera. Old school camera having issues. One of these days I'll finally upgrade. But there's actually oil in there, which would indicate again that the and here, you can really see it here. See the oil on the bottom there? Not supposed to be there. There's a puddle down there. So again, indicates that the separator valve has issues. We'll have to replace, of course, that intake manifold gasket. This is the 14mm nut everybody tells you to remove in the 2 or 3 excellent videos that I saw. Another thing that'll help you out maybe is, here's what I did. Hang on a second. All right, to remove, to separate the lower fuel rail from the injectors, what I did is I slid a strap between here, like so, okay, and then I tightened the tension enough to where I could slide a screwdriver in here, in here, okay, between the loop, and then just yank on it, you know, pulling it back towards the driver's side wheel well. If you want to yank that lower fuel rail off the injectors, and it's like a $50 part if something breaks, big deal. But you're going to have to pull that off. That was kind of difficult for me. By the way, there are 3 triple square bolts that you need to remove on the driver's side for the manifold to come off. Somebody's video only showed 2. That was kind of kooky. But another guy shows, has the intake off, and he shows you all 3. That's how I was absolutely sure that on my 09 3.6 liter V6 that this was the issue. If you have another, year or obviously engine configuration, this will not apply. Also, like one gentleman who was really helpful pointed out, it's a good idea to take the throttle body off easy, just a few screws. Why not? Makes the job easier. Let's see, taking off. I have one spark plug and one, it's that one closest to the firewall that looks suspect. I'm going to do further investigation there. I did remove the tensioner pulley also, and you have to slide the alternator back. That's in all the videos. They all tell you that. That's nothing new. Oh, okay. Did want to point out, there is this thing right here. This tube. This tube here. I believe it's a coolant tube. That thing. Oh, here we go. It's connected like so. The rubber hose to this harder line. And this baby, you already know you have to take the screw off, torque screw over here to disconnect it from the manifold. This goes onto the manifold. Then you have to slide this. You could tell by the hole, you're gonna have to slide it to where the big holes line up with the notches on the bottom of the manifold just to slide this off. And then the fun really begins. That clamp down there, I was able to get it with this bad boy. I picked this up at Harbor Freight. It was like, I don't know, it was pretty cheap for how easy it makes your life. But definitely be mindful of that. That clamp is a bear to remove. And then also, you're going to have to, there's no way to do it, man. You got to take off these 2 radiator hoses. Plus, you'll have to take off the bottom radiator hose for the smaller one. Then you could just bend it back like I did here. And to do that, to get the clamp, this clamp that goes onto that radiator fitting, use one of these. This doohickey right here. I picked this up for like 40 bones or so at AutoZone. It's available for a lot less, about half of that on the internet. With shipping on it, it comes out to like 10 bucks less. And hey man, from time to time you have to support brick and mortar shops, right? Absolutely. So I'm all about that. There's the alternator. You're going to have to just tilt back a little. There's the tensioner that we took off. Other than that, man, pretty straightforward. The other videos do a great job of showing you how to do this. Hey, by the way, if you need a vehicle, I'm doing just cheap cars right now to meet the demand in this economy in Las Vegas. Go to my website, easycreditmotors.com. You'll see basically what I like to go after. I update the vehicles all the time. And every 3 months or so, and it's time to do it again for me, I update the average price that those vehicles are going for at the auction. And then I add my markup, taxes on top of it as well. And in the end, I end up giving you a better deal than you'll get anywhere else. So if you need a cheap car, higher miles, Bob at easycreditmotors.com. And I do, if there's a problem with the vehicle, man, I will take it apart myself. Usually I have my mechanic do it, but from time to time I will do it myself because you need to always be in the game, always get your hands dirty, always be boots on the ground so nobody can get over on you when they're telling you how to do repairs. Bob Asadi, Easy Credit Motors. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you on the next one.